right. Good morning. You know, it's there's a lot of people here whose names I recognize and who I've met before. But usually when I meet them, they're wearing their scout uniform, and now everyone's got suits and shirts and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. Anyway, welcome Scouters, Leaders for Life, campaign donors, and guests to this special occasion. We are so pleased that you can join us as we break ground on our new Leadership Center. My name is Akulse Chaudhry. I am a junior at Woodbury High School and an Eagle Scout from Troop 60 out of Woodbury, Minnesota. And I have participated in and currently am a staffer at Northern Star Council's National Youth Leadership Training Camp Grey Wolf. My experience in Grey Wolf has shown me truly the kind of change that extensive leadership training can bring about in youth. So I'll just tell you a little bit about Grey Wolf. The camp is divided into patrols, each with 8 scouts who have never met each other. And the patrols share a campsite, listen to presentations, cook and eat their meals, and participate in activities together. Throughout the week, the patrol must use the leadership skills that they have learned to develop as a team. Often, the patrol contains scouts of different backgrounds and personalities, and it is amazing to see them transform from a group of quiet and awkward teenagers who don't want to talk to each other, to a group of fighting teenagers who are tired and hungry, to a group of best friends in just a week, who are living the principles of the Scout Oath and Law. The message of Grey Wolf and Scouting in general is one of servant leadership, where the leader's primary job is service. The group is inclusive of everybody regardless of background or beliefs, and everything is done with the utmost respect to each other and in strict accordance with the principles of Scouting. The youth leaders formed through Scouting are not the bossy or autocratic leaders often thought of when thinking of leadership. Rather, they are selfless and kind people who will serve the group and the greater community as a whole. Precisely the kind of leader that is truly effective. It is the journey and the experience through Scouting that have helped me become a leader. And you never know the skills you've learned or the resources received when they will come in handy. This past summer, I was able to participate in a trek at Philmont, and I even have my fancy Philmont belt to show for that. But as we were hiking along, I had this Grey Wolf songbook that is used to raise morale around camp when it is raining or people are tired. And it was fun to march along the trails at Philmont and watch the faces of the other crews as we would overtake them singing Battle Hymn of the Republic or any number of Scout songs available in the Scout book. I know that Scouting and leadership training has made me into the person that I am today. It has made me more self-aware, more organized, and more open-minded. Scouting has given me friendships with some of the kindest and most selfless people I have ever met. I am excited that the type of leadership training that I and many others have experienced through Scouting can now be spread to more people through this Leadership Center. I remember one of the adult leaders at a Grey Wolf staff development, Mrs. Lillamo, exclaimed that the world would be a perfect place if Grey Wolf was a mandatory course for everyone to take. And maybe this Leadership Center can be a step in that direction. Now I would like to introduce a true leader, Northern Star Council's volunteer president, who also happened to co-chair the Leaders for Life capital campaign, Alan Bernick.
Thank you very much, Ago. How about another round of applause for Ago? Somewhat like our president, he just gave away our plan B. So if it starts to rain, he's going to pull out that songbook and lead us all in song. So hopefully you'll not put it away. Put that songbook away. Well, thank you all for coming in again. Welcome. It was 12 years ago that this council had a vision. It was a vision to be a positive influence in the lives of 100% of the youth in the communities we serve. 100% of the youth in the communities we serve, regardless of whether they were Scouts or not. As a result, we formed the Shaping Tomorrow's Leaders campaign, which was led by Fritz Corrigan. It was conducted and it resulted in the opening of Base Camp, where we're standing today, Base Camp, on the 100th anniversary of our founding. We opened Base Camp. We realized our goal of serving the broader community with 85% of all the youth running through Base Camp being non-scouts, being members of the broader community. Base Camp is financially self-sustaining as a meeting and experiential learning location. So it was from the learnings of Base Camp and at the urging of the broader community that the board of directors, our board of directors, decided to expand on the team building concepts that were going in and be currently conducted at Base Camp by offering our scouting's time-tested leadership training. So we went from team training to leadership training for the broader community, which led to the idea of our leadership center. We adapted proven scouting models, as well as created new leadership curricula, which help participants learn about, visualize, and test the skills needed to take on leadership roles. But because Base Camp was already running at capacity, 85% of it being utilized, we really couldn't offer that additional programming in that facility. So we needed to look at something else. We needed to expand our physical facilities. So the board again determined that a capital campaign would meet the demand. The board created the Learning for Life, Leader for Life program out of that strategy. In addition to the leadership lab that we'll be building, it'll have meeting rooms, training rooms, volunteer support centers, and also we envision combining our 2 service centers from Minneapolis and St. Paul into one Scout administrative headquarters. So, once again, we called on Fritz Corrigan to provide the leadership to our capital fundraising effort, and luckily he again said yes. So I would like to ask Fritz to come up and join me at the podium and to say a few words.
This is quite a day. Thanks, Al. It's been really a pleasure to work with you in co-chairing this Leaders for Life capital campaign. It's been a lot of fun. We got a lot done. It was at our annual meeting just 3 years ago that we shared that preparing leaders for life was a key component of our long-term strategic plan. We indicated that we're initiating Leaders for Life capital campaign to focus on helping us develop the facilities needed to achieve this objective. Shortly after that annual meeting, a capital campaign was formed to generate $15 million to help achieve that council's vision for serving all youth, as Alan has described. In your printed program is a list of people who worked on the capital campaign, our capital campaign cabinet and endorsement committee. You'll notice it's not a very long list, but I can tell you the campaign cabinet had a bunch of really terrific folks who did a great job, and I can't let this opportunity go by without letting them know how much we appreciate all they've done for this campaign and the children of our community. So a round of applause for the cabinet and the endorsement committee. I'd also like to thank our friends at Frederickson and Byron for sponsoring our groundbreaking event today. Representing the firm are the president of the firm, John Koenig, council president-elect Bill Brody, and construction task force chair, John Patterson. We appreciate the long-standing partnership that you all at Frederickson and Byron have with Scouting. Thank you very much. You've seen the pictures of the schematics of what's going to be built, and there's no doubt that this leadership center is going to be a magnificent place. One where scouters and non-scouters, adults and youth, will gather to learn, test, and put into practice the leadership skills and personal courage that is required to change the world. This is only made possible by the generosity of many of those in the community who believe in the importance of developing the next generation of leaders. While we plan on having a full campaign celebration during our grand opening of this facility in the fall of 2018, that's when we'll formally thank our donors. But I'd like to draw everyone's attention to the honor roll in the program. Listed there are many of those who have made a big commitment to this campaign. And these people who've made that commitment are wearing a yellow banner on their name tag saying Leaders for Life. We really appreciate your support. Without the generosity of these individuals and organizations, it wouldn't be possible to share the good news with you today that we exceeded our goal of $15 million and raised $18.3 million, of which 17 is earmarked for building this center. Now, there's one donor who rises above them all in this campaign. So it's now with great pleasure that we recognize the Peter J. King Foundation for a $4 million gift to our Leadership Center. This is the largest single gift received in the history of the Northern Star Council as we expand our efforts to serve 100% of the children of our communities. I'm also pleased to announce that the center will bear the name of the Peter J. King Family Foundation in recognition of the King Family Foundation's leadership gift. And this is what the logo signage on the building will look like. You may notice that our Northern Star logo, or icon, has been updated a bit here. Your input is valued, and we haven't firmed that up completely yet, but we believe that the council and the base camp should share a common logo going forward, and various naming protocols may be found in your programs today. So having mentioned that, it's now with great pleasure that I call upon the president of the Peter J. King Family Foundation, Russell King, to come forward and share a few of his thoughts.
Thank you all very much. This is really an exciting day. It's just an honor to be here. I'm joined by our board members, Jim Weichert, Jim Teal, and Steve Higgins, and my wife, Andrea. On all our behalf, the Peter J. King Family Foundation is honored to partner with the Northern Star Council to make this Leadership Center a reality. I'm so proud of my father, Peter, who had the vision years ago to see the importance of giving back to his community, and leadership was an important focus of that. From the early days of crafting the mission of our foundation, Peter identified leadership learning as a truly valuable resource to be invested into our children. Beyond this, he understood that this can't just be taught in the classroom. We need to deliver this education through experiential learning, mentored by highly experienced adults and supported along the way by great organizations like the Boy Scouts of America and right here in the Northern Star Council. Only then are our people properly equipped to go out into our community and convert these lessons into actions. In fact, Akul did a wonderful job, I think, of explaining the value of leadership and the characteristics of what true leaders are. So for all that, when Bill Brody introduced us to this opportunity, we saw a great fit. I think he felt like he had a real pitch on his hands, but it was more of an introduction, and I think it carried its weight. Sorry, Bill. As we look deeper, we saw not the first thought. It looks like a Boy Scout facility, but and we've learned it's so much more than that. It's not just a place for boys; it's a place for boys and girls all over the community to come together and become a new generation of leaders. And it's not just a Scout program; it's an innovative program open to everyone in the community, Scouts or not. The world has changed; it's more complex and unpredictable. So too must the skills needed for leadership change to be more adaptive and community-based. It's essential that these skills be acquired as a young person, and we think the Northern Star Council is perfectly positioned to address these needs. We view all of our donations as investments, as Peter set out many, many years ago, and we view this the same. We view this investment as the investment that all of you have made in this facility. We know this will result in the Leadership Center being a forum for high-profile experiential learning and leadership development throughout the community. We truly believe that the young people who pass through these doors will not only grow as individuals, but as leaders as well, spreading their skills throughout the community. Thank you very much for including us in this terrific event.
came to base camp today, you probably noticed that work has already begun. The Leadership Center Construction Task Force, led by John Patterson, which is listed in your program, has been busy. Excavation and earth-moving activities to prepare the reshaped parking lot, which will serve the new Leadership Center and base camp, has already been taking place. We would like to acknowledge the work of Cunningham Group Architects, led by Brian Tempest, Mortensen Construction, represented today by Kelly Menzel, Construction Executive and Project Director. And now what we have all been waiting for, the actual groundbreaking. I would like to call the Campaign Cabinet Endorsement Committee members and John Andrews to come forward and join me in turning over some ground over there.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Welcome, Scouters and guests, to the 107th annual meeting of our council. Please do continue with your meal, but now we will open the meeting with a video glimpse into the future. My name is Akul Chaudhary. I'm from Troop 60 in Woodbridge, Minnesota, and I am pleased to introduce a recent recipient of the Venturing Summit Award, Dominic Walter, who will lead us in giving thanks. Dominic is the brand new Central Region Venturing President.
Dear God, thank you for assembling these good people here today in fellowship and service to their communities and the children who live in them. We are united by the Scout Oath and Law, and we seek nothing more than to continue sharing these values with every young person possible. Scouting does prepare us for life. Your guidance and care for our mission and for life itself is prayerfully requested. Amen.
Thank you, Dominic. We will have a very fast-moving meeting, everyone. Let's dive right into our council annual report presentation. Will Elizabeth Clarity, Becca Deeds, Ian Simpson, and Brian Pfeiffer, Clarity, Coverdale, Freely Marketing and Advertising, please come forward. While they're on their way up, I would also like to recognize Credo Nonfiction and Jesse Rassler. Raisler, director and partner for putting together the Leadership Center video that we just opened.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today. Highlighting and sharing the great work of clients is what we do. However, we particularly enjoy telling the scouting story. Over our years of partnership, we found that scouting is a very simple, yet very multifaceted program. To that end, we picked one of the more complex, unique aspects of scouting for this year's annual report, the beauty of not being afraid to fail. Today's kids get a lot of pressure to win and succeed, but the scouts teach something even more important, that true success comes from overcoming the fear of not succeeding, offering a safe place to just try again, and learn from every new experience regardless of the outcome.
So our opening spreads speak to this incredibly universal notion, using some great relevant quotes from a wide array of explorers, leaders, and musicians throughout recent history. One that really stands out to us is by Winston Churchill, which is, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And from our 4 years of working with you guys, hearing that continuous stories of courage and perseverance, that sentiment truly seems ingrained in every scout. Moving further into the report, this year's Friends of Scouting letter by your Key 3 involves the story of 2 oak trees and the importance of resilience. I won't read it here, but I suggest you do because it's really quite beautiful. Not right now, because I'm talking, but it ladders up perfectly to your council mission and vision on the following pages. reflected in the faces of just a few of your members. The subsequent balance of the report shares some of the Scouting's most measurable influences and outcomes, so we'd like to highlight a few of those that stand out to us.
Obviously, funding is the necessary fuel to carry out your mission, which is why under development on page 19, it is such an accomplishment to have reached $1 million for the past $6 million days in a row. We attended the most recent one here at base camp, and we came away inspired. The number of young people you help never ceases to amaze us. As you can see on pages 20 and 21, more than 61,000 were served, reflecting 35,000 registered members and another 26,000 through programs here at base camp. And of course, none of that would be possible without the work of the more than 13,000 Scouting volunteers whose efforts reached a market share of 9.2% across all programs. The variety of traditional and specialty programs on the following pages is also worth noting. Scout Reach, Learning for Life, Juvenile Diversion, just to name a few. The unique opportunities that the Northern Star Council provides young people may be a surprise to those unfamiliar with Scouting, which is something this report can hopefully help address. The camping highlights on pages 28 and 29 also show dramatic results and some of the innovations that go beyond just camping, such as the snowless sledding tubes for polar cubs, the floating aquatic platform at Tomahawk, and the new STEM initiatives dealing in both robotics and water quality education. When it comes to program metrics on pages 30 and 31, the numbers speak for themselves. 1,400 plus University of Scouting attendees, 28,000 merit badges earned, 792 Scouts who attained the rank of Eagle Scout. Each one of these a product of hard work, perseverance, and courage.
As an advertising agency, the communication achievements found on page 32 were particularly impressive to us, especially the record number of impressions reached through your Heroes Start Here recruitment program. Plus, being named Best Attraction at the nation's Best State Fair is just plain cool. New research continues to show the lifelong positive influences of Scouting, which is only further proven on the following pages highlighting your program excellence. Nearly 200,000 hours of community service in your outreach to serve representative populations make society better for both Scouts and non-Scouts alike. This all takes effective stewardship, which is why it's great to note the financials on pages 38 and 39, showing the year ending in the black, even though the ink on that number is technically red. From achieving the rank of Eagle Scout to enjoying the sub-zero night in a snow shelter, to the groundbreaking of the new Leadership Center itself, every single Scouting experience begins with the beauty of not being afraid to fail. Congratulations on a great year, and thank you for allowing us once again to help bring your mission and your positive influence to life on these pages. It's an honor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again. Continue eating with your lunches. Before we get started, it's my pleasure to present Clarity Coverdale Period. All right. I'm Alan Dorgan, and it's been my pleasure to serve as the council president for the last 2 years. And these annual meetings are always very, very fortunate. Most part, I just want to thank the Clarity Coverdale Period one more time because they bring to life. I don't know. I sit there and I read this and I look at it, and you guys every year you have to cover off the wall, bringing to life all that we do for Scouting every year. We do in such a concise and professional manner. the package, you'll see 4 resolutions for our consideration today. This is the formal business we're going to get done. We do have a quorum with the president and our voting members, which is required by our bylaws. First resolution in order is very self-explanatory, which updates to the council members. Again, so the first resolution is self-explanatory, which updates on behalf of the council committees. The second, third, and fourth resolutions are required of the National Council PSA in the state of Minnesota in order for us to conduct business. So I want you to take a look at that just briefly if you can find them. So having described those proposed actions, unless there's a request to treat them separately, we'd like to take them all as one single vote. Any objections to voting all at once? I'd like to entertain a motion to approve those resolutions. Second? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, the motion carries. So our next official item of business is to consider the work of our nominee, who was chaired wonderfully this year by Rafael Ortega. So I could ask Rob to help me with that board and present us.
Thank you, Evan. In everyone's meeting packet is the nominating committee slate of nominees. The report reflects the names of those who were nominated and who are presented here today by the election committee for your approval. I am pleased to share that of the 961 election surveys sent out to voting members, all but one received at our corporate offices were in support of the slate. This final slate was also approved by the board of directors last month as required by the bylaws. Mr. President, at this time I would ask you to request a motion for the election of these scholars, first as member at large, and then as cabinet, board, officers, youth members, and county level members. Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure on behalf of nearly 35,000 youth members in our council to install the leadership of the Northern Star Council to govern until our 108th annual meeting. First, however, we would like to take time to introduce those members of the board of directors, president's cabinet, including youth representatives, and members at large who are here today and have been elected to their positions for the first time. As I call your name, would you please stand in place and be recognized and remain standing for the oath of office. Kay Jansen, Paul Koss, Doug King, Thomas Lovett, Eric Miller, Ryan Miskey, Eric Sherman, Brad Wilson, and Adam Fang. Would all remaining officers, board members, president's cabinet members, honorary members, and members at large, everyone whose name is found on the election results sheet in your packet, please also stand and raise your right hand in the sound. As elected leaders of the Northern Star Council, Boy Scouts of America, do you promise to faithfully carry out the duties of your office in order that local youth might grow and develop in positive ways so that they will be happy and confident, live by values based on democratic and faith-based principles, appreciate their relationships and responsibilities to others, and be prepared to assume their chosen responsible role in society? If so, answer, I do. I do. Be sure to grab your lapel pin off your table and put it on. Take 4 of them because they may be changing soon. You are now installed. Congratulations, you may be seated.
Congratulations. We have a special recognition to present at this time. Since 1947, our council has recognized longtime scholars or friends of scouting with a special category of membership, which we call our honorary or honorary honorary life membership. We introduced 3 new honorary life members who are being elected today. This year we are proud to welcome Barbara Herman, Malcolm Hoagland, and Al Linder to the ranks of those members listed in today's packet. I'm going to say something about each of these individuals. I'd ask them when I announce their names to stand, and they can remain standing at their tables, and the words will be presented to them. Al Linder, I saw Al earlier. There he is. Al believed in camps and camping. He was a council camping committee chair through an explosive period of growth in camp facilities, serving 12 years as council chair. He served as a scoutmaster for 20 years, and when asked to become a district camping chair, he would do as many as 3 camp promotions in a single night. Al said, "I'm going to look every kid in the district in the eye and ask him to go to camp." Al's love of camping extends to his entire family. 3 of his own children and 7 of his grandchildren have been long-tenured, outstanding staff members at our camps and various properties, and they continue as volunteers in many roles today. So please present the crystal eagle to Ellen. Mel earned his Eagle Scout rank in 1950, and more than 50 years later continues to give back as a member of the Eagle Scout Scholarship Committee. Mel was one of the first campers at Many Point Scout Camp when it opened back in 1946. He's continued as a leader, helping take the troop to camp several more times. So 35 years ago, Dave Moore asked Mel if he would help with the newly organized Troop 100 at Westminster Presbyterian Church. Mel continues as committee chair of Troop 100 today, after nearly 25 years, with hundreds of young men who've grown up in scouting because of adults who demonstrate care and concern for boys in their communities. So please present this little picture of next to you. Barbara is a 40-year veteran of the VSA and is a young woman who earned the highest rank in Girl Scout. She was a camp staffer for Girl Scouts and became involved in the VSA with her children as a den leader, and then quickly became a key district and council volunteer. She put her camp staff experience to work with day camps and as the National Camp School faculty member. Barbara is also an experienced trainer, having attended the Philmont Training Center 3 different times. She's been the district chair, roundtable staffer, council tiger specialist, and served on the council nominating committee, as well as on the council diversity committee. She served on the Honor Bright Centennial Book, those of you who remember the Centennial Book Committee, and continues on the Archives Committee today. So Barbara, congratulations. We are also pleased to deliver some memento and expression of our thanks to our vice presidents of the board who are stepping down this term. Vice President of Leadership Dan Severson, and also Vice President of Development Skip Crosby. And Skip was unable to be here with us today. I wanted to stand and be recognized and thank you for all of that. We also have some retiring district chairs or district commissioners, and I'd like them to stand in place as well as we call your name. Assistant Vice President of District Operations, Chris Sandler. Polaris District Chair, Rick Smith. And North Star District Chair, Joe Jensen. So thank you very much. Finally, it's my pleasure to ask Brian Bullock to come join me. So Brian needs no introduction. Everyone knows Brian. He has served as our council commissioner for the past 5 years.
and he served as Vice President of District Operations for 3 years prior to that. We are pleased that he's agreed to remain as part of the key leadership group, Vice President for Strategy, which is a new position we created to help us take our strategy up to the next level. Brian's agreed to chair that role and to take on the role of Vice President for Strategy for the Council. He'll give strategic leadership to the development of our strategic plan. Thank you, Brian, for your question. This is the most fun part of the ceremony. I get to pass the gavel officially to my successor. And before doing that, I want to just say a couple of quick things. I want to thank John and the professional staff of Northern Star Council. It's an amazing staff. And all the volunteers who make this job very, very easy. It's truly been an honor. It's been a privilege. It's been a pleasure to serve this great council. So again, I want to thank you for all your support. I want to thank you for all of your commitment to scouting, for everything that you do for scouting. It's really been an honor and a privilege. So thank you very much. Now with that, it's my pleasure to turn over the gavel to Bill Brody, who takes office as the 7th President of the Northern Star Council. Ladies and gentlemen, you are new council president. Bill Brody.
I was disappointed in hearing Alan use the past tense about his involvement. I don't think I'm going to allow that to occur. On behalf of the council and personally, I would like to thank Alan Burdick for his extraordinarily able, thoughtful, and wise leadership as president of the council over the last 2 years. His involvement with scouting has really been very broad and very deep. John Andrews provided me with some of the history this morning. So Alan's held positions from den leader to district chair to council president. He was presented with the Silver Beaver Award earlier this year. He was co-chair of the capital campaign that's going to result in the leadership center that began and ended in 2 years, exceeding the $15 million goal. He's an Eagle Scout, a community leader, a forward thinker, and joins the ranks of a long line of council presidents who, I want to emphasize this, continue to serve our children and families for years after their term of office. I really look forward to Alan's friendship, but also to his continued availability, of his wisdom as part of our key leader group as we progress over my term as president. I am truly honored to accept the privilege of serving as council president. I deeply believe that the Boy Scouts is truly one of the foundational organizations of our communities, and that no organization does more to develop strong, responsible adults. I have 2 brothers, and we all became Boy Scouts at the less than subtle urging of our father. And nothing really has affected the 3 of us more than scouting, and particularly the scout oath of law in our adult lives. Except perhaps my dad's admonition that's now in the family history that if you have it with you, you can always take it off, but if you don't have it, you can't put it on. And for all of you who have camped a good deal, you know what it means. During my tenure as president, there's 2 areas I really want to focus strongly on and encourage the council to focus strongly on. The first has been referred to earlier today. It's to maximize the number of youth in our communities who are involved in the scouting program for both their development, but more importantly, probably the well-being of our communities. And to accomplish this, we're going to need to continue to focus, as we have, on strengthening our program in the youth and volunteer recruiting and retention. And I look forward to the strategic planning process that Brian Bullock is going to be heading up to really focus on that. In addition, we're well aware of the decreases in United Way funding over time. So our other challenge is to continue to expand our fundraising capability beyond the traditional Scout community. I think is one of the truly foundational organizations in our community is doing more than probably any other organization to grow strong adults. We're deserving of the support of that general philanthropic community. And my experience tells me that can be achieved, but it requires all of us to be thoughtful about it and to learn the lessons it just passed. If I'm entirely honest, the thing I most want to have happen in the next 2 years is to get both my young sons across the finish line for Eagle and my daughter across the finish line for her silver award in Girl Scouts, and I think there's a reasonable chance of all that occurring while present. I look forward to working with our highly dedicated staff and unbelievable volunteers, many of whom are here today, to continue to build our council to serve the youth of our communities. Thank you for your confidence, and I look forward to serving the council. I would like to call John Andrews to the podium, and it's going to be our privilege to present $1,000 scholarship recognitions to a group of outstanding young men you are about to meet, including our indicator number. The Eagle Scout Adventuring Scholarship Program recognizes scouts who have displayed extraordinary achievement in academics, athletics, scouting, and overall service to their communities. We also present several $1,000 exploring scholarships each year. The scholarship program has awarded more than $500,000 in scholarships since its inception in 1990. In 2016, Northern Star Council troops produced 792 Eagle Scouts and one Summit Award. 104 seniors applied for the scholarships and 25 were awarded. Today we're going to personally award some of the scholarships and recognize some of the scouts. Our first recipient is Jacob Aguado. Jacob is a member of Troop 147, chartered to the Luck Lions Club in Luck, Wisconsin, in the Eagle River District. In the troop, Jacob attended Tomahawk Scout Camp 5 times, where his favorite thing was visiting the ecology tower. A senior at Luck High School, Jacob has been part of the school's drama program for 6 years, 2 of those in middle school. His Eagle project was cleaning up and upgrading space that the school's National Honor Society uses to pack food bags, which are given to elementary students to bring home to families in need. A unique thing about Jacob is he is the class president and helped to organize Spirit Week at Luck High School. This fall, he is planning on attending Michigan Tech to study chemical engineering. Congratulations, Jacob. Our next recipient is Nick Foreman. Nick is a member of Crew 007. Go figure. Chartered to the Forest Lake Masonic Lodge in the Many Waters District. A senior at Centennial High School, Nick is most proud of competing in the state cross-country team. I can vouch for the fact that Centennial had a very strong team. In scouting, Nick will always remember the sea base trip he took with his crew in 2013. His Eagle project was converting an old, unused food shelf room into a conference room for a local church's confirmation program. A unique thing about Nick is that he was born 3 months early, weighing in at only 3 pounds. This fall, Nick plans on attending the University of Minnesota or Stanford to study biochemical engineering. Congratulations. To receive our Venturing Scholarship, I'd like to tell you about Dominic Walters. Dominic is a member of Crew 9761 in Mounds View, Minnesota, chartered to the Mounds View Lions Club. He joined Scouting at the age of 8, achieving his Arrow of Light in 2010 and becoming an Eagle Scout in 2014. Dominic has served as the Area 1 Venturing President for the last year, overseeing the venturing program in the 5-state area, and was recently selected to serve as the 2017-2018 Central Region Venturing President. He is a junior at Como Park Senior High, where he is a 3-season athlete and a member of the student council. Congratulations, Ron. Our next recipient is Zachary Aschenbauer. Got it right. Zachary is a member of Troop 487, chartered to St. Peter's Catholic Church in Forest Lake in the Many Waters District. Zachary enjoyed camping at Philmont and Boundary Waters with his troop. A senior at Forest Lake High, he won the state championship in downhill skiing with the Alpine Ski Team. His Eagle project was locating and repairing bluebird houses and adding them to the DNR's GPS system. He ended up building an additional 20 birdhouses. A unique thing about Zachary is he is a member of the Leos Club, and when he graduates high school, will become a full member of the Lions Club in Forest Lake. This fall, he plans on attending the University of St. Thomas. Congratulations, Zachary. Our next recipient is Samuel Schroeder. Samuel is a member of Troop 559, chartered to Woodbury Lutheran Church in the Great Rivers District. Samuel most enjoyed his time in scouting when he participated in Aquatics Week at Many Point. A senior at Math and Science Academy in Woodbury, Samuel is most proud of his time on board his ski team. Samuel's Eagle project was to build a patio, fire pit, and pathway for his church. A unique thing about Samuel is that, simply put, he loves mountains. This fall, Samuel plans to attend Minnesota State University Moorhead, where he will study creative writing. Congratulations, Samuel. Would you please join me in congratulating all of these scouts on earning 2017 scouts? Before we leave that, I should probably mention one more thing. We do have room for more Eagle scholarship money if there are those who wish to contribute. I think before I turn it back over to him, we should recognize what a great job he has done today.
Thank you. I've had a lot of fun also. Thank you, Scouters. Please enjoy this video recap of the 2016 annual report, and then we are adjourned.